Hello and welcome to my podcast, Creative Full Time. Today's guest is an actor, writer, and producer. The acting bug bit him in his early teens, and we are so happy that it did. He's been training as an actor for 8 years now and sharpening his skills by creating short stories that you'll be able to view on his socials. And he's enjoying exploring creative endeavors outside of acting and has been inspired to not just be an actor or just be a producer or just a writer, but explore all of the creative endeavors, making him a creator, which makes him perfect for this podcast. Today's guest is none other than Obi Obikudu. Yay!
Hi, nice to meet you. That was awesome.
Thank you.
That was so good.
Thank you so much. Well, thanks for being on my podcast today. I truly appreciate it.
Anytime.
So I like to start at the beginning. How did you get into acting? How did the acting bug bite you?
Okay, so the full version, I had a friend of mine, his name was Coop. So we were 13 years old, and then he goes, I want to be an actor. And then at that point in time, I really had nothing that I wanted to do with my life. I was just, in school and stuff, and I'm like, I want to be an actor too. So then I got into this drama class. So we did this drama thing. I played like Midsummer Night's Dream. What's that? King Oberon. So it was him, and that was pretty fun. And then after that, I stopped acting, and I just started focusing on basketball. And that's like 2011. And then after like second year university, I'm like, oh man, I really don't want to play basketball anymore. Like I was working out with the team and stuff, but I'm like, I really don't want to do this. So then, and I stopped that. Then I was like, what can I do now? I was like, oh wait, pause. I remember I loved acting. I'm an actor. And so then I just started the whole thing. Got scammed a couple of times because that's what happens in Toronto.
Wait, how'd you get scammed?
Got scammed out of money. So like this one guy, he tells me he's an agent, he can get me here, and he's like, oh, I have to pay him like $7,000. I'm like, $7,000? The things I didn't know how it works, so I'm like, oh fuck, I'm excited, so let me try to do that.
Just he's an agent?
He's an agent, so I'm like, $7,000 to be, and I'm like, that makes no sense. Eventually I'm like, no, screw this, I'm not doing that. Then I went to this other place that they're like, I'm not gonna say their names, but then they wanted me to pay like $1,200 or something. I'm like, this doesn't really make any sense. And then I found this one guy, he's a background agent, and I asked him, I was like, can you get me here? And he goes, yeah. So then I, started doing background on Suits. Hated that. No offense, it's a really good show, but then being background was just like to anyone that wants to do it, cool. But like personally, it's not what I wanted to do. So I did that for like 3 times, and then I was like, pause. I don't think I wanted to do this. And then on set, the first time, one of the actors, because I'm sitting down next to him, and I go, hey man, how do I get to where you are? And he goes, really want to know? I'm like, yeah. He's like, don't do this. I'm like, oh, okay. So then, cool, I'm right. So then I went back to the guy, the agent, and before I had the chance to tell him, he told me, he was like, okay, I can't get you here, but this guy can. And then he gives me Earl's, remember Earl? Earl?
I gave you Earl's
card.
Nice.
And Earl Nanhu. So I had this card for like 2 weeks. Then I look at it, and then 1 week I'm reading the book, and I got so frustrated. I'm like, man, what the hell? Where am I? I'm not doing anything. What's going on? And then I called Earl, and then I called him he was like, hello? I'm like, hi man, is this Earl Nanhu? Who's like, yeah, this is him. I'm like, hey man, my name's Obi. He's like, come on. What book are you reading? Well, are you reading any books? I'm like, yeah, I'm reading books. What book are you reading?
So Earl is from EVN Studios. He's an acting teacher that we had, and he is very adamant that you always be reading a book. Yeah. Always.
It's not wrong though. You should. An actor's greatest tool is to read.
It's very smart. But I've never had any other acting teacher or acting coach be like, what are you reading? What are you reading? Like he's so on top of it.
Oh yeah, you should be.
I love it.
And then met Earl, and then ever since then, smooth sailings.
Nice. That's awesome. So are you with an agent right now?
I am.
Wicked. Who's your agent?
DeCaro Talent Management.
Shout out.
Shout out to Caro.
That's awesome. How long have you been with them?
For like 4 years.
4 years?
4 years
okay, now. Wicked. So were you training with Earl and then went and applied for agents?
I trained with Earl for like a good 3-4 years before I went out trying to look for agents. Before then, you're working, you're taking all these shorts, and then got the agent when I thought it was time, and then still just learning, still growing. I couldn't go out for work because I didn't have my permanent residence.
Right.
So then I was still just working on other stuff. But then now that I do, which I got in May, thank God, working.
Nice.
But then the thing is, the fact that I couldn't go out for so many auditions back then, or auditions that I felt like I could do, kind of makes you think, well, let me do my own thing. Let's, start getting a bit more creative outside of this space. We don't necessarily need someone to come help us out, which it would be nice, but then the true power is creating for yourself, and then going to go show the people that, okay, well, this is the work I've done, this is what I can do, and then, you kind of put the power in your hands. That's kind of where the mindset.
Wicked. So when did you think you were ready to get an agent? What made you feel like you were prepared to send it out?
Honestly, I think it was just felt like it was time. Like, I can't say anything other than just like, I was like, intuition. I think it was, if you want to use that word. I mean, like, I was like, I think it just feels right now.
Nice.
And who knows where it goes after that, but right now it just felt like, okay, feels good right now.
Wicked. That's awesome. And so when you were going out for like shorts and building your resume as much as you could, how were you going about that? Was it like Mandy.com?
Mandy.com, maybe. Mandy.com, maybe.
It was really raised the bar now. It used to be not great, but now Mandy.com, everybody's on Mandy.com. Yeah. So if you're starting out in acting, Mandy.com, and Facebook groups are great too, but Mandy.com.
Okay. I didn't do that. I didn't know about that. That's what you did?
Sometimes there's Facebook groups that are like Toronto projects, or filming in Toronto, auditions in Toronto, blah 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 blah. It's hit and miss. I think probably Mandy's more stable, but there's some Facebook groups out there too.
Good.
For sure.
Should have checked those out when I was coming up. No, still coming up. Still freaking working.
Right, I know. So have you had a favorite experience so far doing like short films, independent films? Do you have a favorite project?
The ones that I've done or done with my friends.
Nice.
Those ones are fun. Like, cause you get to, cause then you kind of like putting your hat, or you're wearing a lot of different hats. If it's like producer hat, actor hat, you're helping out. You have to. Okay, let me go get this. You need this. All right, cool. Let's go get this. So you're really part of the filming process, as opposed to okay, now you're here, you're gonna act, do what you have to do, so you're gonna leave. This time it's like, well, you get to do everything. So I think working on projects with friends and working on that you can collaborate with and have a lot of fun with, and you don't have, like, you can play music if you have to play music just to get everyone in the mood, and I find those to be a lot more fun. Not necessarily like things that you get to. I find those to be a lot more fun. Okay,
wicked. So those. And you have a short film that's coming to do a festival run soon?
Well, we have one of them. It's Demon. I acted in that, and then a friend of mine, Obi Obikudu, he's a great producer. Coming up, he's gonna really shout out. So we did a short called Demon, and it's doing pretty good. It's like It's won a couple of festivals. I can't remember the names off the top of my head, but it's like, I think I'd butcher them if I said them. But either way,
right.
So you can find them on.
We'll plug them below in the description.
And they're doing pretty well. And this other one is called Cataclysm. I think I can say it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I said it too early, but I think I can say it. Was a producer on that one, acted on that one, and it's going to be. I think if Demon did well, this one is going to do really well. I really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun.
The hype. That's a good sell. I like that. That's awesome. So do you like producing a lot?
I do. I like being a creative producer. Because then, I don't know. I heard this one thing where they said that if you go to an actor's house, they have a lot of pictures of themselves or their work on it. You go to a producer's house, they have pictures of Picasso on it. You know what I mean? So the difference being producers, well, they're the ones that they, from start to finish, it's their baby. They're coming in, they're doing everything from the ground up to it's finished till afterwards.
Right.
And that's where that's a lot of work. And if you can do that really well, you can act, you can write, you can do all of that stuff, cool. But then being a creative producer where you've written it, you put the money in, you've gotten the cast for it, now you've sold it, festival run, whatever it is, till the rest of time, that's hard, and that's interesting.
More of a marathon.
More of a marathon.
Nice.
And I think it takes and then again, if you reap a lot of profit.
Nice.
Not that that's why you should do it, but making money is also a fun thing. But you do because it is your baby, you kind of have to spearhead the entire thing.
Yeah. For sure. And what have you learned from a production side that's helped you on the acting side of things?
It's not about you. It's as an actor, you are there to tell the story. You're part of that story. There's so many people that came into it, art design, you know, freaking production coordinators, AD, for director, everyone that came, like even background, everyone that came in to that came here to tell this story. The actor is just a very, you know, like, yeah, you're on screen, but you're a very small part of that. The entire thing is much bigger than you. So I find that that's like, I think that's what's taught me the most. You know, it's kind of like, oh, well, this is not about me. We're doing everything we can for the betterment of this story, of this project. So let's do that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wicked. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what do you like about writing, the writing aspect of the creative process?
You get to...
Just that it's more control over...
not so much more control, yeah, but also it's... You get to create this world, you know? Like, it's... You can write whatever you want to write, you know? Make this universe whatever you want to make it. And it's... That's fun. That's interesting, you know? I think that... Yeah, that's fun. That's interesting.
Nice. What do you find the most challenging part about writing?
About writing?
Yeah. Like, do you have a strict schedule that you stick to? Like, I'm going to write this much time every day, or do you, more when like inspiration strikes?
I think it should be, right, sit down and do what you have to do, like write each day. But if you can't do that, sometimes people get busy and you're like, you know, or I get busy and then you have to take some time to do everything else. And then when you can, you know, get back to it and you read it, you're like, oh, wait, pause. You know, let's go some more. So I think it should be it's a practice. You know, it's practice. So like with every, like if you, I don't know, you said you played sports. And what else? Yeah, you know, with this, if you're trying to get better at something, or you're working on something, it's constant. You know, it's a discipline. So you have to constantly work at it. You know, if you're going to the gym and you want to see growth, you're not going to go to the gym once every month. You're going to go to the gym 3 times a week minimum. Some people say 2. I say 3 times a week minimum. And then eventually you're going to see some gains. So with, you know, anything in terms of creativity or act or anything, you kind of have to put in the work consistently, and then you're going to see some gains. So
nice, wicked.
Yeah.
Now, before we were filming, you were talking about some stunt work that you did yesterday, or fight scene. Tell me about the fight scene.
The fight scene is cool. So like, it's a friend of mine. Oh, not a friend of mine. The story is like it's a 4 or 5 minute short clip, right? But the fight scene goes into. So it's me, I want revenge for the death of my father, and then there's, you know, Clara, who's the bad guy. And so this episode 1, which leads to, you know, episodes 2 and 3. So I come in and I front kick him. He, you know, down blocks, go for a leg kick. Because I also train Muay Thai. He goes for a leg kick, goes for a head kick, and he defends that. So it's really good to like blend both of them. And stunt work is hard because, well, it's your body that's on the line. You're constantly falling. You have to, like, and stunt people, like the stunt people that I've seen, or stunt people in general, those guys are really, or those people are really freaking cool. They can drive, they can fight, they can kill you if they want to, you know, because they have to learn how to, not to say that's good, but they can, you know, they know how to knife play, scuba dive, you know, jump off planes, parachute, all of these things. Those guys are like ninjas, and that's cool.
Would you want to Tom Cruise it and do your own
110%. I do not ever want to get onto like anything like it was like a horse related thing. Like I don't, what is it? I think John Wick. What's his name?
Yeah, Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves. That horse scene.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I could ever do that. So for that someone else could do that. But like if you can't, that's sick. Like 80-90% of it. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Nice. Wicked. Do you like writing for like what genre do you like writing for? Do you like to combine like action and?
I love love stories.
Yeah.
I love love stories.
Aw, that's so sweet.
Anything
I was picturing like, action and drama.
Actually, yeah. I mean, love drama kind of falls into that, but like anything with like I don't know. I think love is kind of like it's a universal language that everyone speaks. So, and that's something that I want to. I don't know, I feel very drawn to. And dramatic pieces, if it's like, you know, love between brother and another brother, love between partners, if it's love between, you know, or love lost, you know, anything, you see love being played out, even in horror films, or like you see have a serial killer who kills people, there's a, you know, if you can always find a love element in between that. So I think that, I don't know, I find those to be the best. Like that's kind of what I like writing about.
Nice.
You know?
Wicked. Yeah. That's awesome. Do you have a dream role that you would want to play? Or a dream genre?
I wouldn't say anything challenging, but I would really like 2 things. If I could play like a high schooler, like a high school football player in like a TV show for like 3-4 years, that'd be sick.
Nice.
And then after that, you go do something else. Or as like a Black Panther.
Nice.
I think I'd be sick. I think I'd be pretty cool at that.
Wicked.
That'd be cool.
That would be wicked.
That'd be cool.
Well, Degrassi, here he is. For your high school footballer. Call him.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's wicked. So back to producing. What do you find the most difficult part of producing?
The most difficult part? I think it'd be after post-production.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like initially everything's like get to write it, bring the people on. The filming process is fun because that's like that's the fun part. Everyone loves to do that. But then it's like getting the thing finished. You know, if you can do that, like the really good, like shout out to Obi because I think that he's one of the people that, you know, he starts to finish, and he spearheads the entire thing. So I think teaming up and joining with him, he's been phenomenal because, you know, it's hard to finish something. It's really, it's really hard to start something. Like you can start, you have that motivation and everything, but then in between, it's like, yeah, you're good, but then at the end, kind of like dulls off, you know. So if you can finish it, I think that's the hardest part. It's finishing. If you could do that, pretty much golden.
Set.
This is pretty much set.
Nice. And what do you find the hardest part of acting?
Understanding the life.
Yeah.
Understanding
the life of an actor, or your character's life.
The life of the person. Like you have to understand what's going on. Like read the script and everything, but then it's like getting to that life that writer has presented and understanding what's going on there. And if you can, like the best actors, you look at Daniel Day-Lewis, you look at Gary Oldman. Let me talk about Daniel, or I say Daniel because I don't.
Because you're on first name basis, I understand.
No, I don't. It's not like that. But like look at Daniel Day-Lewis. He's like, in terms of best actors out of this generation or that out of our time, he's someone that he wants to understand the life of that person, and he understands it to a degree that I don't think other people can. Because what he brings to life, you don't see him. He's not the same in every role, and I think that as an actor, that's like that's the job of the actor, to really understand what's going on with that person, and then to not even just embody that, but to live that, to be that. You know, if you're being that person, then you're not really acting. There's no point in that. So that's like the hard. And Earl says that all the time. You know, shout out to EVN Studios.
Shout out.
But Earl says that all the time. You have to know, like it's understanding, being that, and that's why reading is so important. Because the more lives you understand, or the more things you've read, and the more lives you understand, the easier it is to connect to all these different pieces, all these different materials.
Right.
And I think Daniel Day-Lewis, Gary Oldman, Anthony Hopkins, like Anne Hathaway, those guys. Jennifer Lawrence, those guys, people are freaking amazing as actors. They're amazing.
Right.
Amazing.
Awesome. Wicked.
Have you produced anything?
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of producing.
Oh.
I'm not gonna lie. I like directing. I think because I'm bossy. I like directing more than I like producing, but it might have just been that like my producing experience wasn't spectacular. Because I like producing some things. Like I produce comedy and that kind of thing. I like that side of producing, but producing film, there's just a lot more going on, and I like the part of acting where you can leave it and go home. Producing, you're bringing everything. You carry it all the time, and I like to separate sometimes. But if it was a project I loved, I guess it wouldn't matter. Especially if it was my own project.
No, you'd have.
Yeah, producing my own project is different. I guess producing other people's projects, I'm not as good at.
I've never done that, and well, actually I did Cataclysm. That was mine. That was Emil's.
Nice.
But it is hard.
It is hard. And then do you find it hard switching hats, like when you're acting and producing? Or do you find it easier because you're like, oh, well?
Well, honestly, because, again, journey is going on. I'm not produced tons of stuff, but from what I've done, it's like you kind of, like yesterday, for instance, right? So we're doing the fight scene, and then, so it's kind of one thing because you have to, you're acting it, and then you have to tell people, okay, this is when we're going to start, and this is when we're going to end, like cut, action and all that stuff. And I find that could be a bit challenging because it's hard to, as an actor, if you're acting it, and then you have to also yell cut, it kind of takes you out of what you're doing, And I find that's a bit more, that's complicated.
Yeah.
Was that your question? Did I answer your question?
Yeah, no, just take different hats, because it's an extra skill on top of like just producing or just acting. Being able to switch hats is just like a whole other task on its own.
Brad Pitt, I think, is a great he, as an actor, he's good, but as a producer, like he's produced, The Departed. Produced that. He's produced what's it called? Moonlight. Produced that. I'm like, what? And the movies that he's done.
I know. Every time I see his name as like producer Brad Pitt, I'm like, what?
How? Smart.
Right?
Smart.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So you want to get to Brad Pitt level?
I'm trying to get to Obi level.
Obi level. Ooh,
whatever level that is,
like
the level that I have it to be is high. But then at the end of the day, is it really about that? Like, just want to go out, enjoy life, Do what you love. Do what you love. And if you can do that to the end of, if I can do that to the end of time of anyone, then
right.
If you're happy to the end of the days, does everything, what else really matters? You know what I mean?
Right. Awesome. Yeah. Do you get nervous for auditions?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do. But then now, because then, nowadays, because of the whole self-tape thing, I'm kind of, and I guess it's because as an actor, because you get, not to say like rejection's a part, but rejection's a part of it. So I think I'm at the point now where I just, I'm trying not to care so much about it. That we just go do it and make as many choices as you want within the role that you within the confines of the script or the story, and then let loose. But if we can do that, then I don't think is a point or should be nervous. But yeah, it is kind of nerve-wracking because it is nerve-wracking.
Right. Do you prefer in-person auditions over self-tapes, or do you like the self-tapes?
I mean, self-tapes have the advantage of just doing it at home and then going, whereas, in person, you have to, journey to another place. But in person, I think you can get a feel of someone, It's hard to feel somebody if they're not in front of you.
Yeah.
And you can see what they look like on, on TV, on camera and stuff like that, but then you can't really and you don't have to say too much in order to understand, energies. You can't really feel somebody's energy if you can't from a screen.
Yeah.
So in person is a bit better.
Yeah, especially when it's curated. Hi, I'm Allison in Toronto. She seems cool.
She seems cool. Yeah, like everyone else has done hand slates and all that.
I know, right? I hate those ones. But they're all fun. They're all fun. So when you're nervous for an audition, what are some things that you help with the nerves?
Breathe. Take a second. Don't put so much onus and pressure on yourself. Take a second,
Nice.
Just breathe.
Wicked.
Take the time. Yeah, what about you? What do you think?
Mostly, deep breathing, grounding, just trying to be just trying to remind myself that I know what I'm doing, I'm trusting myself more with my abilities and letting go of curating it. I have to hit this moment and this moment and this moment, but just letting it go and being okay, I'm present in this moment, and then we're just gonna play. I know my lines, I know what I'm doing. So that's all you can really do. And then just switching, okay, I'm nervous, but that just means I'm excited because I haven't done this before. And so it's just kind of okay, my brain knows that this is the limit that we've hit, but we can go through it. So we'll be okay. And what helps with me too is if I'm nervous for a performance or something like that, I know that even if it's shit, I will wake up the next morning and I will be okay. I'll be alive. Whereas your brain really makes it think it's going to be life and death. If you absolutely eat it, your life's over. And it's no, I'll wake up. It might be embarrassing. I might cringe. I might think about it for a long time before I go to bed every night. But I'll live. I'll be okay. So just exactly. So nothing's as big of a deal as your brain tries to make it. It's ridiculous. True. So what's next for you? Do you have anything on the horizon? Anything in the plans? Or any goals that you want to hit within 2024?
Acting related or just life related?
Acting related and then life related.
Acting is just, and I've set some goals out for myself, but I don't want to say it because I'm the kind of guy that.
I'm the same. I totally get that because I hate telling people what I've done, because my brain, I find, just goes, check, you've done it, and I'm like, no, but we haven't. We still gotta do the damn thing. I like telling people after it's all done.
After it's all done.
Yeah. So like, hey, look what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay. Nice.
With that, I don't know. Film is gonna go where film goes, and but just to create, I want to produce, like, if it's shorts, if it's features, whatever it is. I just want to, from start to finish, I want to get at least like 4 projects done.
Nice.
Start to finish. Yeah.
You got this.
Yeah. But in life, you know, I don't know. I want to have fun. I want to fight. I want to eat. I want to dance. Take dancing classes. I want to.
Yeah. Nice.
Anything. Yeah.
What kind of dancing?
For right now, bachata for one, salsa for 2.
Okay.
And then, maybe what's that thing? Ballroom?
Yeah.
Ballroom would be pretty fun.
Woo.
Yeah. Just dance.
Bachelor aisle 2.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
TV
That's
show?
awesome.
That's funny.
You're Dancing with the Stars, Obi.
But I think wouldn't that be such a cool skill? Like you
it would be.
You know?
Nobody does it anymore.
Nobody
does it anymore. So yeah, I think it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Wicked.
Any plans for you?
For this year? I would like someone to sponsor my podcast if you'd like to.
You heard it here first. Sponsor, let's go. Let's go, it's coming.
That's right. I'm not picky. I will just, write up a contract, call me. But yeah, I think mostly podcast stuff. I do need to get an agent, if anybody's watching. If anybody's watching, I do need to get an agent. I'll be applying after my theater run. But yeah, other than that, nothing too huge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
As actors, we usually have a survival job as well. What do you do for your survival job?
Fitness.
Nice.
Fitness.
Wicked.
So,
you train?
I train and I train people. So,
okay.
Yeah. So, if we're going to plug this in.
Plug it.
Fitness with Obi. Check it out. And if you need a personal trainer or you need to, get trained, come see me. Yeah. That's the focus. At 45. And everything else. So, that's kind of that's the hustle job.
Nice. And you like it?
Yeah. Fitness. I love it.
Perfect. Good. It's nice to have a survival job that you like.
Because right now my mindset it's film and fitness. So if it's not, if I'm not doing anything that's working towards film, then I'm doing something that's working towards, that's growing the fitness business.
Okay, nice.
And they say it's an oversaturated market, which I think it is. But then I don't know. There's so many people out there that that want to be helped, and if you can help them out, to the best of my abilities, then yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's.
And there'll be certain people that want to work with like your style and your personality too, right?
Exactly.
Like we don't all want
6'4".
Jane Fonda. Yeah, or the big beefy guys that are like,
I'm not a small guy. I mean, like people say that I look small, but I'm not a small guy.
He's not a small guy.
But yeah.
But you're right. Fun. You're not intimidating either.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. I fucked up.
Yeah, I was hoping.
I meant intimidating as in, when you go to the gym and you see the guys like screaming and like throwing their weights. You're not scary strong. You're so strong. You're not scary strong. You know what? I'll put down the shovel. You know what? I'm terrified of you. Now.
That's right. That's better. I like that. That's funny.
Jesus Christ. I didn't know being terrified was a good thing. Who told me? Oh, God. Am I red? Am I rosy red now?
No, you're okay. Just a little bit.
I know. I'm flush. I can feel it. Anyway, bottom line, train with Obi.
Yeah, that's right. Have a lot of fun.
Where do you train at?
Well, so at 45, there's a gym over there, and then the other one is I train people personally. So you can go to a gym I train out of. I'm not sure if I should say the name because Buddy by Dex. All right, so come over there. Nice. Boxing, kickboxing. Well, I'm more kickboxing, Muay Thai, and then personal. Then we have like weightlifting.
Yeah.
But then like it's weightlifting combined, or the way I do it, weightlifting combined with Muay Thai, kickboxing.
Nice.
I think that everyone. And the cool thing about I think martial arts is it builds great confidence. And I think that like the minute I started training, and it's not been for too long, but I think I'm okay. I'm still learning. Let me not say that. I'm learning.
It's always a process.
Yeah, but it's like you walk into a room and you kind of hold your chest higher a bit, because it's like, okay, well, and you walk down the street, it's like, okay, well, someone comes at me, I know it, and I have enough confidence in myself to be able to defend myself. You know? And I think that's the best part about martial arts, because it's that confidence that you build. You know? It's a lot of power. It's a lot of power.
Nice.
So yeah.
Well, I'm sold.
Good.
Let's start kickboxing now.
Let's do it.
Alrighty, wicked. Did you watch the Oscars?
I did not.
Are you an Oscar guy? Don't like Oscars?
Not that. It's like it's not that. I think award shows are cool, but like I don't know. Maybe I just don't care too much for awards. I think promote the people. Like it's good to see like all the work that someone's done, and give them credit for that. But beyond that, I don't think I personally don't care too much.
Right.
For it. Did you?
I did. I do every year. Actually, only in my 20s. Did I start watching every year? But I wanted to watch all the films before the Oscars, and I didn't get there. I watched like maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah.
They're long. They're like 3.5 hours. It's like a life commitment.
Oppenheimer took everything apparently.
Yeah. It cleaned up pretty good. And that and Poor Things.
Poor Things. I've not seen it. I read the script though, but I've not watched it yet.
I haven't watched it, but it's now on Disney Plus.
Is it?
So yeah. So I'm gonna watch it now.
Oh, thanks.
Whenever I have time.
I didn't know that.
Whenever you have over 2 hours.
What? I didn't know that.
But yeah, it's on Disney Plus now.
Okay.
But yeah, Oppenheimer cleaned up, and I didn't watch Oppenheimer either.
No, I've not finished it.
You have not finished it? Because it's a long ass movie, right? So fuck. Oh my God. It's ridiculous.
It's a long film.
I've had relationships that were shorter than these movies.
Christ.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm very happy in my relationship. Anyway, back to acting. Alrighty. We plugged your short film you wanted to plug. Was there anything else that I didn't bring up? This would be the time to let me know if there's anything that I didn't bring up that you wanted to talk about.
I think you said everything.
Yeah?
Everything that I think, everything in the bio.
Everything in the bio? I nailed it. See, 10 out of 10.
And even more than that. So I didn't think we were talking about fitness. That's even cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I love figuring out what people are doing other than acting as well, because I mean, as much as we all do want to be creative full time, until you get to a certain level of income, and we're doing other shit that we like to do as well to pay the bills. So
and
no shame.
There was one actor. He's pretty big. He's done a lot of stuff. And he's like worked with Tyler Perry and stuff. And but either way, first time I met him, and he trained with Earl. So you know Lyric Bent, you know.
What's his name?
Lyric Bent.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I don't think I've met him, but I know of the name.
So yeah, he's there, and I asked for advice, and he goes, I don't know, to paraphrase, he said something like, if this doesn't work out, or if this doesn't work out, it's not, I don't want to say if this doesn't work out, it's not the end of the world. He more so said, there's more to life than this, if anything. Because you can go out there and, again, like if you're living the life that you want to live and you're happy, which is like, and happiness is different for a lot of people, but I think happiness, if you can have it without, the money or quote unquote whatever you find success to be, if you go through life and you're just just living, like really enjoying where you are at every single day, I think that's hard. It should be, but I feel like if we can get there, then won the lottery.
Sure.
Film and everything else just comes to the wayside. It's not as important as opposed to enjoying and living life.
Nice. I like that. I meant to ask you what?
Probably shouldn't have said that.
No, why? Why not?
I don't know. I don't know. Either what were you gonna say?
Don't second guess it. It was great. It was great.
Came out of the moment.
No, I was gonna ask, when you went to university, what did you go for?
Oh, I was a history major. History and double minor in political science and religion.
Oh, nice. Yeah, history, do you find that helpful with acting?
History?
Yeah.
It's interesting, yeah, but I don't, none of that helped with acting. acting helped with acting. But,
that's so funny. I thought history would help
but history
a little bit.
No, I mean, like, understanding the history of the world, yeah. It mostly helps with just people. Like, U of T was fun. But that's what it was. Nice. I think, honestly, part of me hopes or wishes that I specialized in religion. I think religion and history kind of, they're like really hand in hand.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
Like I wish I specialized in that. That would have been a lot of fun.
Nice.
That would have been a lot of fun.
If I could go back to school, I would do psychology.
What'd you do?
And history. I went to school for acting.
You're like an idiot.
Like a loser. I should have just gone to acting classes. When I went to a college, oh my god, it's too late. Everybody knows already where I went to Toronto Film School.
You went to TFS?
Yeah. Okay. So just a very expensive acting
school.
camp.
Yeah.
Loved it. I mean, all of my friendships and relationships are from them. So I tell them, like, I paid $30,000 for you. Like, this friendship, $30,000. $30,000 friendship. So don't leave me.
No. But TFS has a pretty good program. Like,
they do. I think I graduated in 2012
for film and stuff, for like directing and producing and stuff.
Yeah, it was really good, like hands-on that way. I think they've gotten better and better since I left. They were like in a big transition period of like they were getting a new building and under construction for that and setting up new programs and that kind of thing. So I don't know. My experience is not every experience of Toronto Film School. I was also dumb, and I don't think I invested my time as best as I could. I feel like if I did TFS now, I would have taken it way more seriously and like applied to way more like projects that the director kids and the producer kids and the writing kids are putting on. I would have put myself out. Whereas like, I feel like I just kind of cruised through. It was like, la-di-da-di-da, I'm in acting school, can't wait for the agents to find me. And that's not, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work that way at all.
No, but either way, it kind of happened, whatever, happened for the right things, because you're here now, and I think you're probably better off now than if you were to have gone back and done what you said you think you should have done. Probably wouldn't have been.
Yeah, that's the other way to look at it too, right? It's like everything that I did has gotten me here, and right here is not bad. So I like it. I like it. Yeah, it's been okay. It's been an all right ride.
That's right.
But yeah, would you recommend that people get into classes for acting, or just like dive in, find an agent, and go for it?
Oh no, get into take classes. Take classes before you go out and get an agent, to make sure that you understand what it means to like the craft of acting. Like, definitely. So that way you don't go there and like look silly in front of like castings. Sure, you might look good and stuff like that, but you go in front of a casting director and you can't do diddly squat. They're gonna look at you like, what the hell is it? Like, what's a mark? Oh, what's a script analysis? Oh, where am I supposed to look? Like, what? No, don't do that. Take acting classes. Take audition techniques, beginning, whatever you have to do. And then when you feel like, oh, you're comfortable enough, then you go into it. I think that should be the way with everything. I don't think you should, like, certain things you dive into it. But like, let's say, like relationships, you don't just, and we do now, but like, that's what leads to a lot of problems. But like, you don't just dive into a relationship. You kind of like take your time, understand who the person is, like, you know, go out a couple times, catch a vibe, and when you understand and when you're ready to, you know, say, okay, well, now we're committed. Let's do this. Yeah. So I think acting should be taken the same way. Take your time, understand the craft, and then go in there, and then you're ready to go.
What is something that surprised you about acting? Like something you didn't know going into it?
It's a good question.
I know it's hard because we're experts now. We know 3 things.
Hair flip. Something now that I didn't know then. I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now. I think I always expected it to be a grind. I always expected it to, you know, it's a discipline. You have to work. I think what surprised me the most. I think what surprised me the most is that it leads you to other spaces. You know, you're not just, first you're thinking, I'm gonna be an actor, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna, like, you know, you're just thinking acting. And never did I really think, never did I allow myself to think, oh, well, there's so much outside of that you could do that supplements that, you know. So it's like, I didn't expect that. That's what I didn't expect, because you can go into it for one thing and then end up doing something like related, but not related at all.
Yeah,
So
right.
It's just occurred. All those, excuse me, it's just the
like pivots to
the pivots and
other
stuff.
things.
Yeah, you know, the road leads you down. Didn't expect that. That's for sure.
Nice, wicked,
And
wicked.
And I think we're lucky to have found like at least I think I'm lucky to have found the coach. Like, I don't know about you, because we trained together, right? But then I'm like, I don't know, I think EVN Studios as a film studio, or the coach that's there, I don't know if he wants us to say his name, but he's out there, but...
It's Earl.
Earl Dadu, great guy. And I think that I've learned so much, and I couldn't have asked for anyone better.
Nice.
Couldn't have asked for a better teacher. Best teacher I've ever seen, met, been with.
Wicked, wicked.
Yeah.
Have you tried other places around
No, I
as
have
well?
not. No.
Okay.
And there's no knock to other people that do.
Yeah.
But I think that if you find a coach that works for you and that you think you vibe with and you gel with, then you
stick with it.
You know?
Yeah.
You know.
Nice. Because you're right. Like, there's not one class that's going to work for everyone.
Yeah.
But you find out what works for you, and then plug in. Stick in it.
Plug in.
Nice. I love that.
Are you still training? No, you said you're not.
No, I'm a professional now. No, just kidding. No. I haven't
Well,
trained.
technically you are. You've been paid for work, so.
I haven't been paid for work. I've been paid for 5 years. I haven't been to class in over a year now, but that's because I've been focusing on other things like comedy and this podcast, and so I think this year I'll jump back into it because I miss it. I miss the acting grind of auditioning. And I know people audition, you audition for so long, you get tired of it and you're like, auditions, but I miss being miserable about auditions.
Well, really?
I'm just kidding. Not miserable about auditions, but I miss auditioning and like regularly getting excited about new projects, new possibilities, because the most random things pop
your way.
pop in. So it's cool. It's cool. I like it. So I miss it. Want to get back into it for sure.
Okay.
What was your strategy for applying to agents? Did you apply to a bunch, just like headshot resume?
Headshot resume, applied to a bunch, and then someone came in and said, but then the agent I currently have, a couple of people from acting class were with her.
Okay.
When around the same time, so I was like, oh wow, I'll talk to her too.
Nice.
And that's kind of how we found each other. But then resume, headshots to a bunch.
Nice.
And see how it goes.
Wicked. And how did you know that your agent was the one? For lack of a better question.
Like, I don't know, the timing, I guess. Timing.
Did you meet them in person before signing?
Yeah, I met them in person. We had to have that conversation, and then I think what we did, she had to. I performed the monologue.
Nice.
And then she was like, "Wow, that's such." Granted, I think she might have said that to everyone, but I was like, "Oh, wow, okay, cool." I did that monologue. It was okay.
Yeah, nice. Okay, wicked. And then did you have meetings with other people as well, or was that the one that you were? Yeah.
No, I had.
Were you gunning for that?
I'd met with a couple of people, but then when we met, it was kind of like, okay, well, she was good to go, I was good to go, and then again at the same time, my PR situation was just not like. I think a lot of other, agents, and to their respect, it's not to their respect, but it's understandable because you don't really want to rep someone that you can't take to union auditions,
Right.
Like that's you're going to constantly go into non-union stuff, and on top of that, it's not even every non-union stuff. So being like that whole PR process was pretty complicated. But like I said, now that I have it, now it's just about okay, well, let's rock and roll. I've been training for a good time now. I'm ready to go.
Nice.
So
you're non-union right now, right?
Non-union right now.
Me too. Don't worry, no shame.
I didn't think it. Nah, there's no shame in it at all.
Right?
Non-union is where it's at. You go create your own stuff. You get to be free.
That's true.
Granted, union and then I don't know. There's a lot to be said for. There's a lot of argument that can be made for both.
Yeah, but, both sides. It's hard to figure out which one is right for you. Because there is a lot of back and forth about union, non-union. But I didn't. What are your thoughts on union, non-union?
Man, I mean, being in the union, you get to be in a place where you get to see, bigger auditions, yeah,
right.
but then smaller pool. And I guess if you're good enough to be there, then, but you're kind of locked in. You can't do anything outside of that, unless you get like you have to get an actor has to sign off, or you have to do like a project with a friend of yours. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you're a union. Now, non-union, you don't have any of those restrictions,
right.
And you can make the same money that you could make as a union if you were to book something like a union person was to book, and you have the freedom to go do everything else. Like yeah, I get it. There's an argument that could be made for both, but I feel like if you're coming up, like again, I don't want to say you are because you're doing things. I don't know, but like I am, and you're just working. I think non-union is kind of where it's at. A lot more freedom, and I think I prefer to be free than to be locked in personally.
Yeah, fair. Fair. I like it.
What about you?
So yeah, no, I've heard both arguments. I'm not sure. I feel like it's one of those things where if the opportunity arises, I'd have to reassess at that point, because until then it's kind of like, well, I have no choice. I'm going to be non-union.
Yeah.
So I'd have to, when the moment arises, if they're like, hey, you want to go union, then I would assess and be like, we'll see.
True.
We'll see, weigh the pros and cons, probably talk to some people that I trust that are in it or out of it and compare notes. But yeah, right now, I mean, I don't know whether it's like imposter syndrome of like, I don't think I'm ready to be in the union, or if it's just an accurate measurement of I don't think I'm ready to be in the union because I don't have the resume that people in the union have. So I think right now I'm good where I am. But I feel like I'd have to build up my resume more.
Okay. But I don't think that's a fair assessment because I don't know. I think there's some actors out there that are union that, in terms of acting abilities and able to like understand the role and the script and all that stuff, that you could probably be better than. I think the union is just like, oh yeah, you got 3 credits, now you're part of it, you go apply, you go pay all this money, and then boom, now you get that credit. But then I know, like a lot of non-union people that I know that would run circles around union actors, circles. So it's like,
that's true.
I don't know. I think imposter syndrome. That's.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's based off like 100% talent per se, just to like experience more than talent. Okay. Like if you're gonna look at my resume and then somebody who's been in the union, working union shows for a while, versus me who's done like a couple shows a couple years ago, you're gonna go with this person, right? So I don't know. That's one of those things where it's hard to judge because it's just so out of your control anyway, right? Yeah. I like to finish my podcast with a fast 5 questions. Okay. They're see the pressure already. Preparing. Alrighty. So some of them are silly, some of them are more whatever. We'll just do it. And you'll see. Enjoy. Okay. All right. What's your favorite beverage?
Alcoholic or non-alcoholic?
Non-alcoholic.
Dr. Pepper.
Now alcoholic.
A Guinness.
Yeah. Dark stout. Alrighty. What is your favorite genre to watch?
Comedy action.
Okay.
Comedy action. That's 3, I guess. So a combination, dramatic.
Okay.
Drama.
Perfect. What is 3 things that you have to bring with you when you go on set?
On set, like on set or like to? On
set, like if like an acting gig. Oh. You're booked, you're showing up as an actor. What are 3 things that you're gonna bring with you?
Laptop, book, positive energy.
Hey. I love it. With the snap too. 10 out of 10 best answer. What book are you reading right now?
The 4 Agreements. Paulo Coelho.
Oh, nice.
Read that a couple times, but that's a good book.
See, Earl, he's reading.
Man.
That's awesome.
I'm listening.
Perfect. And then a piece of advice you would give young actors starting out.
Have fun, work hard, and trust in yourself, and see where the journey takes you. No pressure. Just have fun, work hard, be okay.
Nice. Wicked. I love it.
Gotta take that from myself.
Excellente. Well, thank you so much for being a guest on my podcast.
Are we finished with a hug or a handshake?
A hug. It's not going to be on camera, but
that's awesome.
We hugged.
Yeah.
Be jealous.
Yeah, that's right. I get that opportunity. You don't.
That's right. Alrighty, well, thank you so much for being a guest on my podcast. I truly, truly appreciate it. If you like this interview, please like, share, subscribe, you know the deal, and comment below. Tell us your best takeaway, your favorite takeaway, or something you learned or could relate to in this interview. And if you'd like to support our podcast, head to my website, AllisonMullings.com. There's a spot where you can donate to help us keep going, keep this excellent, and get better and better as we go along. Thanks so much, and see you in the next interview.